Hey there guys, here's your machine, the Breville Barista Touch BES880 in silver. Very good condition, this one. As you saw, as you see in the title, it's 95% as new. So there are some, of course, signs of use. It's mainly around the front, some light scratches here, a very small nick, and some abrasion on the top lid, on the rear side. But honestly, very clean, and only has been used for about 6 months. So pretty much close to new, I would say. So now it's cleaned, serviced, fully ready to go pretty much, and I'm just going to quickly do a demonstration. So on this one I'll be doing a double shot espresso, and I'm going to be foaming some milk. So when you first turn on the machine, it will boot up. It'll take about 5 seconds to boot up, very quick. There's no heat up time on this one, pretty much, but you still can heat up, and it is recommended that you heat things up. For example, the portafilter would be cold when you turn on the machine, and the cup, of course, if it's not preheated, it would be cold as well. So I'm going to keep the handle on. It's currently empty. May have some water in it from the cleaning. So I'll take it out. I'll press. You can press the hot water to give you hot water tap, water from the hot water tap. So it'll be nice and hot, about 93 degrees, I think, according to the settings. You can also heat up the grip handle and the grip head by running actual hot water, so either single or double. It's currently set for 25 seconds, so it'll run for 25 seconds. Oof, very hot water there. So you can do that for the whole cup or for half of the cup. I'm going to stop it there, that should be enough. Yeah, so that's nice and hot. I'm going to put it on the side. And the next thing is to take out the portafilter and dry it. You want this to be dry before you grind your coffee. So this is the double basket here. Your machine also comes with a single basket, so both baskets included. Some cleaning tools, of course, and the cleaning and the milk jug. Sorry. So yeah, this is a double basket. It takes 18 grams of ground coffee. So I'm going to use my scale over here to measure what 18 grams is. And you have your grind time over here. Let's set it to say 8 seconds and see how much that gives us. I like to do my grinding in two steps. So I instead of putting it on double and letting it grind the entire amount into the basket, I like to grind half, press it down, grind again, press it again. Hope that makes sense, because it doesn't create as much of a mountain and it doesn't spill over, I feel. So I'm going to grind a single, which is about 9 grams. So if you do that twice, that's 18 grams. So it will stop for the set amount of time. You can also manually grind by holding the button. So like putting the handle on, pressing it and holding. That would grind for as long as you hold it for. So that's 8 grams. So 8 seconds gave us about 8 grams. Logic dictates that if we put it for 9 seconds, that will give us 9 grams. So this is the coffee that came out. Not too fine, not too coarse. It's in the right ballpark for espresso. It's very important to have the correct grind size, because if you have too fine a grind size, too small, the coffee will come out very small quantity and very slow. If the grind size is too large, the coffee will be coming out really quickly and you'll have a lot of coffee in your cup. So it's all important to balance that grind size with the speed. At the moment, it's at number 4, number 1 being the finest, but there's another internal setting that you can change, but don't worry about that just now. At the moment, it's at number 4. I will make a coffee. That's the only way to know if we have the correct grind size. And the grind size will depend on what bean you're using. So at the moment, I'm using the Aldi beans. I think they're the only supermarket beans that I would usually recommend. They're quite decent, for the money at least. So let's just make this 9 grams. Yep. So that's 9 grams. So let's keep it at 9 seconds now and see how much that gives us. 9 seconds for a single dose. And as you remember, I did it twice. Great. So we'll take that out and measure. Should be about 18 grams. Yeah, that's about 18 grams. So keep it on 8 or 9 seconds. It's up to you. Slightly more. Okay. Now that it's exactly 18 grams, I'm going to keep it on 8 seconds, so just in case you get about 8.5. You want to, before you press down the coffee, you want to flatten it with your palm or your fingers, sort of distribute it evenly, more or less. And then when you press it down, I'm going to press nice and firm, gather it up, and then press. If you don't have a scale or you want to check the amount of coffee that you have really quickly, just look at the depth of the tamper after you press. So I've pressed my coffee down, nice and firm, very even pressure all around, and the depth of the tamper is, this line is how deep the tamper would go. It wouldn't go any deeper if I push it. So that's 18 grams, and this is sort of an easy way to know if you have the correct amount. Another way is to grind enough, scrape off, before you press anything down, scrape off the excess, make sure it's level with the top edge of this basket, and then when you press it down, most of the time you should be going only as deep as this part if you have the correct amount. So that's in case you don't want to use the scale or if you don't have access to one. And frankly, you don't need to use the scale every single time. I don't. Only when I'm getting a new batch of beans or maybe a new machine to test. That's the only time I use this scale. Clean the edges, make sure they're nice and clean all around. And lock it in. It's a fairly tight fit because it's a fairly new machine, so you don't have to lock it in all the way to the right. I'm going to lock it in at dead center. That's about as tight as it needs to be at this stage. Don't push it too hard to the right. And don't, if you overfill the basket, you will feel that the handle's really tight and hard to put on. So if it's really, really hard to put on, that's probably because you have too much coffee. Yeah, so that's dead center. I'm happy with that. Here's my cup. I'm going to remove the water, and then I'm going to fill it with hot water after my espresso. So for now, I'm going to use my scale to measure the amount of espresso that I get. In the 25 seconds, I should be getting between 30 to 40 grams of coffee. That's about a 2-to-1 ratio. So for every gram of ground coffee, 2 grams of espresso. That's about a 2-to-1 ratio, which is standard for espresso. And that should happen in the 25 seconds, because this should be a double shot. So double, yeah. Okay, let's make it. Yeah, let's keep it at 25. Make sure you pay attention to the flow. Make sure it's nice and smooth, not too slow, not too quick. Looks good. Slightly more on the right hand side. Maybe it's because of my tamping. But anyway, the flow is nice and smooth. It looks like it's about the right speed. It started flowing at 8 seconds. So that's the shot. Maybe a little bit too small, but that's okay. We could have gone for another 5 seconds, I would say. That's 25 grams. Yeah, it's a little bit less than I was aiming for. I wouldn't recommend doing this all the time, but you can run a little bit more coffee. I guess, yeah, at 30 seconds, this would have been a great shot if we let it go for the full 30 seconds. So that should be enough. It gets really quick at the end, of course, because you extract all of the coffee. But anyway, we have some very good crema, very nice colors there. And now it's about 38 grams. Perfect. I'm going to put it on the side. Let's put it here. The top lid does get slightly warm, but not too warm to, you know, make your cups piping hot. And then take the portafilter out, knock it into a knockbox. Which, by the way, I do have a knockbox for sale. If you're interested, let me know if you're keen. And after that's done, I'm gonna run another blank shot. This time to rinse the shower screen and the portafilter. So press the single. So that's the best way to keep your machine clean without much hassle. And that's all. You can maybe every few days, maybe once a week, just grab a tissue or a brush and wipe the shower screen and the grip head seal to make sure things are nice and fresh. Yeah, that's an espresso on the Breville Barista Touch. Next is the milk frothing. So I'm not going to be making a latte because I'm giving this to my housemate. But to make this into a long black, you just add hot water. So as much as you want, just press the hot water button. This pretty much makes it an Americano coffee if you add hot water. Really hot. I'm always amazed by this machine and the speed because it heats up the water on the fly. You don't have to wait for any boiler to heat up or anything to take minutes and minutes to warm up. It's ready to go the moment you turn it on. So it's crazy how hot the water comes out of this. I'm gonna give this to my housemate and be right back. Next is the milk frothing. So just because this machine has this new heating system, the milk is also really quick to engage. So of course it's a single boiler machine, but it's really quick at that. So turn it on, takes maybe 5 seconds. And when you turn it off, within seconds it's already cooled down. Yeah, it's reminding you to do the cleaning cycle on the wand, which I've already done. Where's my cup? Okay, now I'm gonna froth the milk into this cup just so that you can see the froth rising. Just a little bit. So for example, let's put it on. Oh, by the way, you can froth your coffee like a barista manually without the machine doing it for you. But you can put it, of course, on the automatic and select the temperature you want it to go to and the level of the froth. So I want it to be 7, so not too frothy, but quite a lot of froth in there. Pop it in, and I think you need to put it, if you're using a steel jug, you need to put it on the milk sensor. This is a glass cup, so it is slightly touching the sensor, but that might confuse things. So let's see if it detects. Yeah, it is detecting. It might not be as good as a steel jug. But yeah, the milk is rising. This is a lot of froth, honestly. now it changed sound, so that means now it's not frothing, now it's just steaming. So only heating up the milk. I will stop it soon. We don't want our cup to overflow. And when you take it out, you want a wet towel or a tissue at least to wipe off the milk from the wand. The very good thing is that this is a no-burn wand, so it doesn't get really hot. The milk doesn't bake on it, so it's really easy to clean. So this is a dry tissue, and with a dry tissue we've already cleaned most of the wand. When you push it down, it will clean itself. So let me just clean off this area. When you push it down, oops, sorry, it will clean itself. So it will purge hot water. Sometimes it does make a little bit of a mess, so just wipe off any spill over the tissue or something. Yeah, that's all. So let's try that again actually, just because I wasn't satisfied with the glass container. So let's use my milk jug. So my milk jug is here. It's already wet. So I'm gonna fill it with cold water. I'm going to be frothing hot water, just water. So I'm going to put it on. Make sure that the jug is touching that sensor, that metal knob. Or metal knob. What is it called? It's like a button. It's like a temperature sensor. So froth. It'll just show you the temperature going up. That's all I'm aiming for. So that's that, and when you push it down, again, it'll clean itself just like before. You can maybe get a cup and catch these spillovers. And as the machine instructs over here, it says keep dry, so keep the temperature sensor dry. Make sure you don't have water spilling or milk spilling on top of it, because of course it's an electrical component. We don't want anything to break. Yeah, so that's the Breville Barista Touch. I think it's one of their best coffee machines. It makes life so much easier with the milk frothing, and it's really easy to clean and quick too. So I think you'll love it. And I will stop there. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm always available on Facebook. And thank you for watching. Cheers.